morning. Again, we have discussed some new concepts, probability only. Here, so again we have discussed about this probability. So already we have discussed some problems regarding this probability. Some new concepts or new formulas we have discussed here. So first, what is a probability? That means here the probability implies a likelihood or some chance. So that is probability nothing but some likelihood or some chance. Okay. So when an event is means when an event is certain to happen, then the probability of occurrence of the event is 1. That means if the event is occurred, so then the probability is what only? Probability is here 1. And when it is certain that an event cannot happen, that means it not happens, then the probability is 0. So if it is happens, then the probability is 1. So hence some probability value, that means probability ranges from, so therefore probability ranges from 0 to 1. Here, now we have discussed those. So first of all, what is the classical definition of probability? That means the classical definition of probability is, as the name suggests, that the classical approach. So to define the probability is, it is states that if there are n exhaustive or mutually exclusive. Here, the classical definition for this probability is here if n exhaustive means maximum, and exhaustive are mutually exclusive events. So mutually exclusive events, nothing but one can not affect with other one. Mutually exclusive events means if there are n exhaustive mutually exclusive cases, of which m cases are favorable. So in these m cases, that means out of these n cases are favorable cases. Now these m cases are favorable cases. So these how these m cases are occurred. So whenever these m favorable cases are happens, then what is the probability? So that is what probability definition. That means probability. Here the probability equal to m is the favorable cases and n is the exhaustive cases. So these are the favorable cases, and by exhaustive are total cases. Exhaustive cases are chances. So here this is the classical definition for this probability. So if an n exhaustive, if there are n exhaustive are mutually exclusive chances are there or cases are there, out of which we can select only m favorable cases, then what is the how it is happens, then that is what the probability. So then the probability of event A is defined by the probability function, that is probability function is defined like this, probability of A. So here A is nothing but some event is occurred. Okay, so here this is what the number of f of A equal to number of favorable cases by number of exhaustive or total cases. Exhaustive cases or total cases. So this is the classical definition, that is what m by n. So this is what the classical definition for this. So to calculate the probability, so we need some information regarding these favorable cases as well as total cases. So then only we can find out this probability. Now here suppose some example, that means suppose a coin is tossed. Here a coin is tossed. What is the probability getting head? What is the probability getting head? So here total number of equally outcomes. So total number of equally outcomes, that means exhaustive outcomes. So a coin is tossed. That means whenever we can toss the coin, here total cases are 2. Total cases are 2. That means head or tail. 2 cases are there. Here number of favorable cases here. Here what in the question we ask for the head only. That means favorable cases. Number of outcomes. Outcome favorable to head. Number of cases those are favorable to head are only 1. Okay, that is favorable cases equal to 1. So then the probability of head equal to, so here head is nothing but event. So probability of event equal to 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So this is what the example for probability. Now see the additive theorem. So additive theorem for 2 cases. Additive theorem. Now first case is for mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive events. So the additive theorem of the probability states if A and B are mutually exclusive events, that means here A is one event and B is another event. Both of these two are mutually exclusive events. So mutually exclusive means suppose if one happens, other is not happening. So this is what the mutually exclusive events. So here that means some A or B, either A or B. Both some cases A and B also. It means suppose A or B. Here probability of A or B. This is nothing but mutual A or B. Either A, either B. That is what probability of A plus probability of B. So this is possible. That means when we are saying that these two cases are exhaustive events, so these two are disjoint sets. That means here you can observe the A intersection B equal to empty. So this is nothing but disjoint sets. Disjoint sets. So then we say that here this is the mutual exclusive events. Okay, that's why A or B and B. The probability of here this additive theorem of mutual exclusive events. If A and B are two mutual exclusive events, then the probability of either A or B, but not both. That is P of A or B equal to P of A plus P of B. So this is also right like this: A union B equal to P of A plus P of B. Here, so this theorem also extend for n number of events also. So for example, if it is the three events are there, so how we write this additive property or additive theorem, that is P of A plus P of B plus P of C. Suppose n number of events are there, n number of events are there. that is A1 union A2 union and so on AN, then P of A1 union P of A2 union and so on plus and so on plus P of AN. So this is what the additive theorem. Okay. So the next, suppose is an example on this additive rule. That is, a card is drawn here. Suppose a card is drawn from a deck of cards or from a pack of 52 cards. Then what is the probability that it is a king or a queen? It is a king or a queen. So how many kings and how many queens are there? So here 4 kings and 4 queens. So these two are the mutual exclusive events. That means whenever we can pick whenever we can pick 4 cards, those 4 cards either kings, either queens, anyone, either some are kings or some are queens. So then here you can find out, that means here 4 kings, nothing but draw the card. Here you can write P of A is nothing but draw a card of king. Draw a card of king. And P of B is nothing but draw a card of king, draw a card of queen. Then either a card is drawn from a pack of 52, what is the probability that is a king or queen? That is A or B. This is what additive theorem, A union B, that is P of A plus P of B. So out of 52 cards, you can pick 4 cards. Those 4 cards are kings. So here, P of A is nothing but certainly exhaustive cases are 52. Out of these 52, we can pick only 4. That is 4 by 52. Those 4 cards are kings. Suppose if those 4 cards are the queens, that is 4 by 52. Again, queens are so 4. Favorable cases are 4 and total cases are 52. Then 4 by 52 plus 4 by 52. So this is what 1 by 13 plus 1 by 13. This is 2 by 13. So this is the probability. So 2 by 13 is a probability. That means here you can write the in points 0.17. That means 13 5. So that is a 15% chance. 15% chance to pick 4 cards from the deck of cards. Those 4 cards either king or queen. So this is for the one of the problem example for. This is the example for additive theorem. So additive theorem for mutually exclusive events only. So here these 2 events are mutually exclusive events. Either that one is a king or queen, but not both. So that is the mutual exclusive events. Sometimes, so this additive rule is also used non-mutual exclusive events also. So additive theorem for, next we have to discuss about additive rule for non-mutual exclusive events. Additive rule or additive theorem for non-mutual exclusive events. Okay. So in case there is a probability of both events to occur, then the additive theorem is like this. That means your non-mutual exclusive events nothing but, suppose then pick any card, either that is a number of some different suits. Okay, so that is a non-mutual exclusive events. Here that means A is occurred, B is occurred, or A and B. A and B is also occurred. Here, in case of possibility of both events to occur, A and B. So in mutual exclusive events, either A is occurred or B is occurred. So in non-exclusive, non-mutual exclusive events, A as well as B both are occurred. That means uh, in case there is a possibility of both events are occurred. So here both events are occurred. So this is what both events are occurred. So then the probability is what? Then probability is A or B equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Okay. Here this is also right like this. Principle of inclusion and exclusion. P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B also. Okay. Here see one example for this. Suppose a shooter is known to hit a target 3 out of 7 shots. First one is a shooter. A shooter. Um, a shooter is known to hit a target. Shooter hit a target. Hit a target 3 out of 7. So another shooter is known to hit a target. So here suppose shooter A and shooter B hit a target, that is 2 out of 7. 2 out of 5. That means here and find the probability of the target being hit all when both of them try. Both of them try. So here event A and B are not mutually exclusive events. So here the additive rule is like this. So in this case, the additive rule is, this is the additive rule. So here we can write this P of A intersection B equal to both the events, P of A into P of B. So here both events are there. Okay. Now here P of A equal to shooter A hit a target 3 out of 7. 3 favorable, 7 total cases. And P of B equal to 2 by 5. The next P of A intersection B, both the shooters. Okay. So A and B are not mutually exclusive as both shooters may hit target. Okay, hit target. So first shooter use a 7. Out of these only 3 are hit. So second shooter to hit the target, that person can use 5. Out of 2 only success. Out of 5, 2 only success. So that means if both of these two are collectively try to hit the target, so what is the probability? That is 2 by 5 into, that means P of A into P of B. P of A is 3 by 7 and P of B is 2 by 5. That is 6 by 35. Now, right here, A union B, that is the probability of A or B equal to, that is 2 by 3 by 7 plus 2 by 5 minus P intersection B, that is 6 by 35. Now, this is what so LCM is 35. Now, 5 3s are 15 plus 14 minus 6. Okay. Now, 29 minus 6, that is 23 divided by 35. So, this is what the probability for this shooter hit target 3 out of 7 and another shooter hit target 2 out of 5. So if both of these are collectively these two shooters collectively try to hit the target, then what is the probability? That is 23 by 35. Okay, so this is what the concept of additive rule for mutually exclusive events and non-mutual exclusive events. So then one more rule, theorem, that is what the multiplicative theorem. multiplicative theorem. So this multiplicative theorem for two events again. One is the independent events and dependent events. So here mutual exclusive, non-mutual exclusive, dependent events, independent events. Okay. Now coming to for independent events. For independent events, here so in this multiplicative theorem, the theorem states that the probability of the simultaneous occurrence of two events, so that are independent. So simultaneously, suppose A is some event, B is another event. So both of these two events simultaneously occur. So these are not depends on one another. A is not depends on B and B is not depends on A. So that we are all these two events are independent events. Okay. So what is the probability? So that means this theorem states that the probability of the simultaneous occurrence of two events that are independent is given by product of their individual probabilities. That is probability of A and probability of B equal to probability of A into probability of B. Individual, that means the product of their individual probabilities. Probability of their individual probabilities. Individual probabilities. Here, A and B. Okay, both of these are independent. Okay, now this is also like right like this. P intersection B, P of A into P of B. So this is also right for n number of independent events. That is A intersection B intersection C. That is P of A, P of B, and P of C. Suppose this is also right for n number of P of A1 intersection P of A2, P of A n. Okay, so this is what the multiplicative theorem for independent events. Now see one of the example for this. Suppose the problem statement is like this. So a college has to appoint a lecturer who must become MBA and PhD. That means a college must appoint a lecturer so whose qualifications who must be become graduate and MBA postgraduate. MBA postgraduate as well as PhD. Okay. Then the probability of which is, that means a college has to appoint a lecturer who must be. That means suppose a college must appoint some lecturer. In that case, some persons are attend the interview. So those persons have some BCom, some persons have MBA, some persons have PhD, some persons have both all these. Okay. Then a college has to appoint the lecturer who must be BCom, MBA, and PhD. The probability which is BCom probability is 1/20. That means probability of person being probability of a person being become graduate. The probability is 1/20. That is what you can assume here is. And probability of being MBA, that is what P of B equal to 1/20. 25. Then the probability of being PhD, that is P of C is equal to 1 by 40. So find the probability of getting such a person is, that means, okay, BCom graduates are 20 members. Out of 20 members, total 20 members. In that, one person has a BCom. So MBA, అంటే మనకి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళల్లో the probabilities find out. These are the total cases. Out of which this. So ఈ person కి మనకి all qualifications ఉండాలి. That means A, B and C. That is P of A into P of B into P of C. That is 1 by 20, 1 by 25, 1 by 40. So this is your 0.05, 0.04, 0.025. So this is what 0. Like that some probability. We add just it gives some probability. Okay. So the next and the independence. All these are independent. The next is suppose for dependent events. So this is the new concept for dependent events. Dependent events. So one event is depends on the other one. So this is what the conditional probability. This is what the conditional probability. Here, so dependent events are those occurrences are non-occurrence. That means the event is occurred or non-occurred of one event affect the outcome of next event. That means occurrence of A is affect the occurrence of B. Either non-occurrence of A is also affect the event of B. That means one is depends on other one. Okay. So this is nothing but independent events. That means dependent events are those whose occurrences or non-occurrences of one event affect the outcome of next event. So such events, here in these cases, multiplicative theorem is not applicable. So here the probability associated with such event is called the conditional probability. So in this case, multiplicative theorem, that is in independent events, that is P of the individual events of multiply the individual events probabilities of individual events. So this is what the multiplicative theorem in the case of independent events. If both are the dependent events, A and B are the dependent events, then here this multiplicative theorem is not applicable for this. Here we are called this probability is conditional probability. So now how this conditional probability is defined? So this conditional probability here P of A by B. So instead of this is what the additive rule. So this is what the multiplicative rule. So then next addition theorem and multiplicative. So here the next one is what this is what the conditional probability. Here mutual exclusive events ki probability ela find out chestamu. So non mutual exclusive events ki probability ela find out chestam. And multiplicative, if both of the independent events, how we have to find out the probability. If both are not independent events, how we are finding. So here A by B nothing but probability of occurrence of event A when event B has already occurred. So probability of occurrence of event A when event B has already occurred. That means probability of A is depends on this probability of B. This probability of event B. That means the probability of event A. That means probability of occurrence of event A is depends on event B. This event B already occurred. Okay. Suppose here B by A. This is what probability of occurrence B is B when A event already occurred. Okay. So now here this is simply said that probability of A by B. Probability of A given B. This is what probability of B given A. Here the probability of A given B simply. That is the probability of occurrence of A when the event B is occurred. Simply say that the probability of A occurred when B is. Okay. Now how we are writing this one? That means P of A by B equal to P of A intersection AB by P of B. P of B. Otherwise, P of A intersection B by P of B. So suppose what is this? P of AB by P of A. Nothing but P of A intersection B equal to P of A. Okay. So this is what for independent events. So this is also called as conditional probability. Now right here the conditional one problem regarding this conditional probability. Suppose a coin tossed 2 times. A coin tossed 2 times. So the toss resulted in one head and one tail. The toss resulted in one head and one tail. What is the probability that the first throw resulted in tail? Then what is the probability? What is the probability that the first? What is the probability that the first throw resulted in a tail? That means here a coin is tossed 2 times. The toss resulted in one head. Okay, one coin is tossed 2 times. The toss resulted in one head and one tail. Okay, one head and one tail. What is the probability that first throw resulted in a tail? That means the sample space. That means how many number of sample space, nothing but what? So coming to the sample space, here when we perform an experiment, then the set of all possible outcomes, that means total outcomes or total cases, nothing but sample space. Sample space. So here whenever we can toss a coin, how many number of sample spaces contains potentially one head and one tail? Suppose if it is a one coin. Suppose if it is a 2 coins, then sample space equal to a head and tail, and tail and head. Okay. One coin head and other coin is also head. One coin head, other coin tail. One coin tail, other coin is also tail. One coin tail, other coin head. That means here the sample space contains 4. That means S equal to sample space is represented with S. So now let event A be the first throw. So the problem I need to do the probability that the first throw resulted in a tail. Here let event A be the first throw. Be the first throw resulting a tail. So resulting a tail, nothing but here let event A be the first throw resulting a tail. Next let event B that one tail and one head. One next here The toss resulted in one head and one tail. That is one tail and one head. Okay, that is what P of B. Now here P of A. P of A equal to what? P of, so first throw resulting in tail only. Okay, H. So this is the first throw, this is the second throw. Okay, so first and second. And then first throw lo manki enti tail. So this is tail. So second coin either head either tail. But first coin compulsory tail. Okay, and here that is probability of A. Here how many? These are the favorable cases. Here any favorable cases? 2 favorable cases. So here total cases enti. So total number of cases. That means number of cases here 2. Here the number of cases are 4. That is 2 by 4. Here it is 1 by 2. P of A equal to 1 by 2. And the next one is P A intersection B. So A intersection B nothing but ikkada manaki second event, that is event B, that one tail and one head only. So ikkada em undali one tail and one head. One tail and one head. Okay. So first throw compulsory tail. So allanti possibility entante only one. And out of which 4. So that is TT, TH, HH and HT. That is what? 1 by 4. Then ikkada manaki adina probability enti? The toss resulted in one head and one tail. What is the probability that the first throw resulted in a tail? That means P of A by B. So here P of A by B. P of A is occurred when B is already occurred. So ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఒక్క కాయిన్, that means A event ఎప్పుడు occur అవుతుంది? So while occurring this event A, already B is occurred. That means P of A by B. So this is what the condition. That means probability of A is occurred when event B is already occurred. Okay, so that's why this is called the conditional probability on condition. That means P of A occur avali ante P of A already occur ayi undali. Now P of A is what? Here the P of A by B equal to P of A intersection by B. That is P of A intersection B equal to 1 by 4. P of B equal to, sorry, here P of A equal to 1 by 2. Now it is 1 by 4, 1 by 2. So this is what? This is equal to 0.5. Okay, 0.5. This is what the conditional probability. Then next one more is there. There is a Bayes theorem. So this is one of the most important development in probability field. So this Bayesian decision theorem, which is proved to be this gives some help in decisions under certain uncertain conditions. Suppose conditional probability given in certain conditions, but from uncertain conditions. అంటే మనకు కరెక్ట్గా తెలియదు whether that is occurred or not. Uncertain conditions. So this theorem is used to find the probability. So this is developed by some British mathematician. So that British mathematician name is Thomson Bayes. That's why this theorem is called as Bayes theorem. So this probability theorem is also called as inversion probability. This is called as inverse probability or Bayes theorem probability, and this is also called as Holzer posterior probability also, and this is also called as the revised probability. So this Bayes theorem is used to find the probability in some uncertain conditions. In that case, two events are dependent events, but uncertain conditions are there. So in that case, this is also called as inverse probability, posterior probability, and revised probability. So this theorem finds the probability an event by considering the sample information. Hence, that means for finding the probability, sometimes we require some sample information. So that's why this theorem is called as posterior theorem or posterior probability. So here this probability, this theorem depends on conditional probability. Conditional probability పైన depend అవుతుంది. Here the formula for this is what? P of A by B. So అందుకోసం ఇక్కడ A of I అనేది మనకు తెలియదు. Means here uncertain. So out of number of events, so which event occurred, that is uncertain. That's why P of AI by B రాస్తున్నాం. Here P of AI into P of B by AI divided by summation of I equal to 1 to K P of AI into P of B by AI. So here the particular one, here 1 to K. Okay. Here A1 to AN are mutually and exhaustive events. These are the mutual events as well as exhaustive events. Okay, so this is what the conditional theorem, but uncertainty. Okay, so this is what the Bayes theorem. Now see here, before discussing the problems on this Bayes theorem, so just up to this we know what we learned about probability can be conceptualized as finding the chance of occurrence of an event. That means probability nothing but what occurring, finding the chance of occurrence of an event. So mathematically, it is the study of random process and their outcomes. So here the law of this is used in different environments, weather forecasting, opinion polls, and stock marketing. So these probability can be used in different areas. So now this probability theorem is invented in 20th century by mathematicians, that is Pascal and Fermat. And here some terminology is there. So first one is the random experiment. What is the random experiment? So an experiment which all possible outcomes are there. Out of these all outcomes, we can find out one outcome. So for finding particular outcome, what is the probability? That means an experiment in which all possible outcomes are known and an exact output cannot be predicted in advance. So it is called as a random experiment. That means suppose number of outcomes are there, out of which మనం దేనికి ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తామని చెప్పలేము. సో randomly we can pick. That is nothing but random experiment. That means an experiment in which all possible outcomes are known and exact output cannot be predicted in advance. That is nothing but random experiment. So that means suppose random experiment, suppose whenever you can throw a dice, so which number we got, that is not we know in advance. That is nothing but random experiment. Suppose out of 1 to 6 ఏ నెంబర్ అయినా రావచ్చు. అలాగే కాయిన్ టాస్ చేసినప్పుడు ఐదర్ హెడ్ ఐదర్ టైల్, దట్ మీన్స్ ఏదైనా రావచ్చు. దిస్ ఈస్ వైల్ పర్ఫార్మింగ్ ఎనీ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్, the result is not known in advance. That is nothing but random experiment. Then what is the sample space? Here sample space, when we perform an experiment, then the set of all possible outcomes called sample space. That means suppose you can toss toss a coin. How many outcomes are there? 2 outcomes. Suppose you can toss the 2 coins. How many outcomes are there? That is 4 outcomes. 4 outcomes. That means to the power of 1, to the power of 2, and so on to the power of n. So suppose if we toss n coins, how many outcomes are there? Sample space content to the power of n. Suppose if it is a dice, here whenever we can throw the dice, 1 to 6 numbers are there. Suppose at a time we can throw the 2 dice, how many outcomes are there? This is 6. So that is 6 squared. That is what 36. Here you can throw throws n dice. How many outcomes are there? Possible outcomes are 6 to the power of n. Okay. So this is what the sample space. And what is the event? What is the event? So coming to the event, so any subset of sample space is called event. Any subset from this sample space, I suppose 2 and 3. Whenever we can throw a dice, so probability of 2 and 3. This 2 and 3 subset of this subspace, sample space, that is called as event. Okay. Now, how we can find the probability based on these terms? That is probability occurrence of an event equal to number of favorable outcome by total number of outcomes. That means favorable outcome means events by sample space. That means the probability means that the chance of occurrence of a particular chance of occurrence of a particular event. So this is what the probability. Okay, how we can find out? That is the probability of occurrence of an event equal to total number of favorable outcomes divided by total outcomes. Total number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So that as the occurrence of any event, so it varies from 0% to 100%. That's otherwise 0 to 1. Okay. Now, so steps to find the probability. So problem ichar anukondi steps probability ela find out chesaru. First step is find out the total outcomes. Next we can find out total favorable outcomes. Now apply the corresponding formula. Next apply formula. Okay. Suppose if a coin is tossed, if there are two possibilities, outcomes are there. Suppose if you can toss two coins, either head and either tail anna. That means head or tail. Head or tail means మనకి హెడ్ అయినా రావచ్చు టైల్ అయినా రావచ్చు అంటే 2 కాయిన్స్ మీరు క్లోజ్ చేశారు సో శాంపుల్ టోటల్ అవుట్కమ్స్ ఆర్ 4 ఓన్లీ హెడ్ బోత్ ఆఫ్ హెడ్ దట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ 1/4 either head or either tail, that is 2/4. So that means first we can find the total outcomes and after that number of events, favorable outcomes. So now apply the formula. Okay. So this is what probability, this is what, suppose tossing a coin. So ikkada chudandi, so tossing a coin, then total outcomes are outcomes equal to 2. Suppose hence a tail that is 1/2, otherwise tail is also 1/2 and head is also 1/2. Suppose dice is there, so that is throwing a dice here. So throwing a dice, 6 possibilities are there. 6 possible outcomes are there. So out of which the probability of any one, either 1, either 2, either 3, that is 1/6. Suppose that the probability of getting any one is 1/6. The probability of getting even numbers, that is how many even numbers are there? 2, 4, 6. That is 3/6. That is nothing but 1/3. Suppose getting what? Again 3/6. That is 1/2. Okay. Suppose cards are there. Picking one card. They're taking cards from your deck. Suppose total cards 52. So in these cards, the probability of an S, probability of an ace, probability of taking ace. So how many number of A's are there? 4 A's. That is probability empty 4 by 52. That is 1 by 30. Suppose probability of diamonds. Okay. Only diamonds cover. So how many number of diamonds are there? 30. So then what is the probability of diamonds? That is 13 by 52. That is 1 by 4. So this is what the probability concept. So now based on this probability, you can say some rules and axioms. So first one is the probability of an event always varies from 0 to 1. That is nothing but 0 less than equal to p of x less than equal to 1. And for an impossible event, the probability is 0. So impossible event, probability 0. Then certain event, probability 1. Then next, if the occurrence of one event is not influence the occurrence of one event, they are called mutually exclusive events or disjoint events. Okay, that is nothing but P of A intersection. This is nothing but pi. Then next, suppose if A1, A1 and A2 and so on, AN are mutual exclusive events. So in this case, A1, A2 and so on, AN are the mutual exclusive events. Then P of A1, A2, union and so on, AN equal to P of A1, P of A2 and so on, P of AN. So this is one. And if the probability, that means x and x complement, that means two events, x and x complement. So there are two events, x and x complement, which are complementary. Then the probability of the event is, that is P of x complement equal to 1 minus P of x. So for two non-disjoint events, so suppose if two are the non-disjoint events, okay, non-disjoint events, then the probability is what? Here A union B equal to P of A plus P of B, where P of A and B are non-disjoint. Sorry, P of A and B are what? Non-disjoint events. Non-mutual exclusive events are non-disjoint events. Okay. Then next, if A is a subset of another event, suppose here if A is a subset of another event, that is A subset of B, then the probability of A is always less than or equal to probability of B. A is subset of B, in this case probability of A is less than or equal to probability of B. So this is what the so this multiplicative rule is also called as a product rule as well as multiplicative rule. Otherwise, addition rule is always called as sum rule or additive rule. Okay. So this is what about the probability. Suppose we can give the answer for this. Suppose here in a batch, there are 80%. There are 80% C programmers, and 40% are C and Java programmers. So what is the probability that a C programmer is also Java programmer? Then what is the probability of C programmer also Java programmer? Okay, here A is given that a student Java programmer. Okay, and A is, and B is given that a student C programmer. Now here, what is the here? This is what this type of probability. Here, this is the conditional probability. That means here ask then what is the probability of C programmer, also Java programmer? C, that means probability of C occurs, probability of Java, B. That means probability of C occurred based on the event B already occurred. This is what the conditional probability. Okay. Now see what is the formula for conditional probability. So conditional probability formula enti P of A by B equal to P of A intersection B by P of B. Here P of A is nothing but Java, B is nothing but C. So we need here the probability of C. That's why here we are using B. So for this we are using B here. Now A intersection B equal to, now A intersection B equal to 40% C and Java, 40% and 80%. That means P of A equal to only 80%. So here ask probability of not B, probability of C program and also Java program. That is the conditional probability. That's why here 40% divided by 80%, that is 1 by 2, 0.5. So here we are using the conditional probability. Okay, so this is what the concept of conditional probability. And next we are discuss some application on Bayes theorem as well as conditional probability. So then next we are discuss some basic terms on this probability concept. So next see some problems regarding this probability. After that we are discussed about binomial distribution. Next Bayesian distribution. Next we are discussing about the measures of central tendency.